Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 42, Practice Set and Starred Problems. We're going to be doing repeating decimals in this lesson. So basically it says write each repeating decimal with a bar over the repetend. And repetend is just a fancy math word for whatever repeats. For example, here we can see that the 7-2 repeats. So when I write this with a bar, the bar is going to go over both the 7 and the 2. Over here I see it's the 6 that repeats, so I'll write everything else. And then the bar just goes over the 6, not over the 8 and the 1. Okay, so this says round your number to the nearest thousandths place. Describe how you got your answer. So thousandths place would be, this is tenths, this is hundredths, this is thousandths place, so 3 decimal places. So if I write this one out, let me change colors here. If I write C out, this goes on for like ever, right? And the thousandths place is right here. So I'm going to look at this one, and since this is greater than 5, I'm going to bump this up. So my answer is this. Okay? Over here it says that the 8 and the 1 are repeated, so this is equal to 5.3818181, on and on and on. And the thousandth place would be right here, and I'm going to look at this 8, which means I'm going to bump this up to 2. So my answer is 5.382. Let me change colors. E says to compare these, so I have 0.6 on one side, and if I extend this one out, I have, and this goes on forever. So if I put these on top of one another and line up my decimals, this has 0 after, there's nothing there. So this is the same, and this is the same, but this is not the same, this is larger. So my sign would be that 0.6 is less than 0.6 repeating. Change my colors. And then lastly, on this page, arrange in order from least to greatest. I have 1.3, I have 1.35, so I can put a 0 here. And then I have 1.3, and it goes on forever, right? Okay, so this is the same and this is the same, so I'm going to be looking at this number. And the one that's the smallest is the 0, which would be 1.3 would be the least. And then I have the 1.3 repeating, and then 1.35. And that's my answer. Okay, divide 1.2 by 12 and write the quotient with a bar over the repetend and then rounded to 4 decimal places. So what I'm going to do, this is 1.7 divided by 12. I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator. Okay, and I get, let's see, there we are. I get 0.1416, and it just keeps going. Now what you'll find out on your calculator is your calculator will eventually round the very last number. That doesn't mean that that's the answer, because 6 goes on forever. So if I'm going to write this with a bar over the repetend, it's going to look like this. Now if I'm going to round it to 4 decimals, let's see, 1, 2, 3, so I'm rounding to this spot, so I'm looking at this one. This is greater than 5, so this is going to bump up to 7. So my answer would be this. Okay, round to 4 decimals, so first I'm going to go ahead and write out what I have. It looks like this is just over the 6. So if I round to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm looking at this one. This one's greater than 5, so I have 6 and 7. Okay, and over here it's over the 2 and the 7, so this is going to look like this. Okay, and 4 decimals would be here, so I'm going to look here. This is not greater than 5, so that's going to stay at a 7. That's my answer there. Alright, now we have starred problems. It says the coordinates of the vertices of a triangle are -6, 0, right there, 0, -6, right there, and 0, 0. So I'm guessing this goes like this. It says to find the area. Now we know that the area of any triangle anywhere is either 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2, whichever one that you prefer. And we know that the base and the height make a 90-degree angle. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side, and 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. So my base and my height will be 6. You're going to plug that in and work that out. Okay, all angles in the figure are right angles. Dimensions are inches. Find the perimeter and the area. So we are going to need to find this side and this side. And then what you'll do is you'll just cut it into 2 pieces for the area and add those together. Okay, we just did this one, or one like it. Divide 1.7 by 11. So if I do that on my calculator, I get, let's see, 0.1545, and then the 45 goes on forever. So if I'm going to write this with a bar over the repetend, I would do this. This would be my answer. Round to 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at this one. This is 5, which means I'm going to bump that one up. So this is 155. And then what place value did you round to? So I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay. These are cross multiply butterfly. I'll set this one up and then you can do both of them. So I multiply what's in my little wing here. So I have 24 times W. I bring my equals down. And then I have 21 times 40. And I solve for W. Okay, here I'm going to plug in 12 where B is and 10 where H is. So I end up with 1/2 times 12 times 10. And I'll let you work that out. 2 ways to show this expression. The first way, you're going to do the parentheses first, and then you're going to multiply. The second way, you're going to distribute. Okay. 21, justify the steps. So what I've done here is I've used the distributive property, because I distributed the 5, 6 to each one of these. And then here, this is the inverse property where we're multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, so let me tell you how you're going to do this. And it says find the measures of A, B, C in this figure and then classify any angle pairs as supplementary. Supplementary adds up to 180, or complementary, which adds up to 90 degrees. So I know that A plus 40 is equal to 180, because that's a line, which is supplementary. Okay. Once I have, so that's A plus 40. Here I have 40 and 90 and B, and I know that 40 plus 90 plus B are equal to 180 because that's inside of the triangle. That's also supplementary, right? And then lastly, I know that B plus C is equal to 180, which is supplementary. And since I didn't actually solve for A, B, or C here, I just kind of set up the problems for you. I'm not sure which ones are complementary, so you'll have to figure that one. I think that 40 and B are probably complementary. But this will at least get you started on how to work those out. Oh, and that's the last problem. So if you have any questions, please let me know.